Today's topic is, what does the West want from India? It's a question that comes up again and again. Does the West want India to rise, or does the West want India to be suppressed and not rise? First, let's define what we mean by the West. For me, that's basically, as an economist, is the US, UK, Japan, Australia, and some European countries. That's the West. And the answer to what they want from India depends very much on what they want from China. At present, the economic relationship with China is not quite defined and is not quite stable. Some time back, there was a move to decouple from China, to get out of China as much as possible. And some companies did move out of China, some moved to India, some moved to Vietnam. And the idea was that everybody should get out of China as quickly as possible. But that's not happening, and it's not going to happen because many of those companies are minting money in China. Tesla, GM from the US are minting money in China. Airbus wants to produce planes in China. So how can they get out of China? It's not possible for the West to get out of China. So now the talk has become of de-risking. Don't have relations with China that put you at risk. Have relations. It's a form of coexistence, peaceful coexistence, rather than having nothing to do with each other. Continue the trade, but with caution. And let's see what that implies for India. I'll break it into three parts. Part one, they want India's market. It's not as large as China's, but it's growing faster than China's market. And they would like to sell stuff here. They'd like to sell Teslas here. They'd like to have Walmart come in here. The UK wants to sell Scotch whiskey in large quantities, and so on. So they want to sell consumer goods. They want to sell financial services also, which includes insurance, credit cards, all sorts of things. So they would like to get into India's market because it is the largest after China. Next, they also want to get hold of some of India's workers. Remember China plus one? So they would like to also produce in India, and they would like India to improve the quality of its labor force so that the quality of products made in India would be good enough, not just for Indians, but worldwide. So that's what they want from India, to produce in India to an extent that gives them some security of not being dependent on China, and perhaps also lowering the cost to some extent. Third, we move into an arena that is not fully economic. They want to sell arms and equipment to India, which India has been buying heavily from Russia because of the legacy purchases. And they would like to shift quite a bit of that to the Western world's arms and ammunitions, which would give a boost to their economy. It's clear. Second, they would also like India to be a counterweight to China in India's neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, and possibly perhaps in the longer run, even Pakistan, where China has quite a big hold. Whereas India doesn't have the kind of money and resources to get into those countries and really give them tons of money and support them. So clearly, they would like India to do that. And finally, reaching completely outside the economic arena, they would like India's armed forces to be ready to take on the Chinese forces in case such a need ever arises. India and China are not trying to fight each other. India is not trying to fight China, but India is aware that China could be a security threat. So the West would like the Indian armed forces to be as capable as they could be and to be able to counter the Chinese threat, which would also be sort of a threat to the West, though China is quite remote from those countries. Okay, that's it for today. I'll be back with another important economic topic next time. Bye till then.